Welcome to our podcast, Gems Squared, and I'm your host, Bree,
And I'm Winnie.
and we are
Just two gems.
Hey y'all, Editing Gems here.
And we just wanted to pop in and say, we wanted to give some trigger warnings. We just be talking on this show, and sometimes stuff comes out, and we didn't mean for a couple times in the show for us to be talking about sexual assault, but it does happen. So we did want to warn you. You can skip ahead if you're an audio listener, and if you're a visual watcher on YouTube, we'll chunk it out so you can miss it. We're specifically talking about the book Lolita and about Outlander.
And I also want to remind y'all that because we're talking about these books and also the TV shows, there are spoilers throughout. So if you haven't read one part, watched one season, listen. There's things are gonna things are gonna be spoken about. Okay, so we definitely spoiled a lot of things, and you're gonna hear us say spoiler alert. But we wanted to come in and do a more formal thing and let y'all know that there are spoilers and some trigger warnings that you need to be aware of.
Yeah. Thanks for watching or listening.
My question for you is, what is your stance on shows that have the co-stars have a slow burn for a love story? And if you have a favorite or, most disliked, you can throw that in there too.
So the co-stars have a romance that's just on the side?
No, like a slow burn. So they're like seasons until they're together, or it might not even seem like they have any chemistry in the first couple seasons, and then at the end of the show they do got chemistry, and then they're together.
Yeah, I feel like Charm did that a little bit with Leo and Piper. We didn't get to see them until after she had a couple boyfriends, but we all knew he was meant for her.
Yeah.
So that is one I like. But one that I hate the most, I had to stop watching the TV show.
Ooh.
And I stopped watching it, y'all, it had 2 episodes left. And I just stopped. I said, yeah, that's
2?
it. Yeah, but I mean, that happens to me sometimes. There's this book that I hate so much. It's called The Invisible Life of Addie Larue, written by V.E. Schwab.
Speak your truth.
That was just thoughts on paper. There was no plot. There was nothing. It should have stayed in the drafts.
Ooh.
I am mad that they put that out in the world.
It should have stayed in the drafts.
It should have stayed in the drafts. And I think that I read to about 90% and said, yeah, I just can't.
That's wild.
I can't. I just can't read another page. I tried to ride with her for 90% of the book. And it wasn't a small book, babes. We're talking close to 400 pages.
See, it takes a lot for me to stop reading a book.
Yeah.
I'll read shit pissed. That's a dumbass plot point.
Yeah.
I'd be fixing it in my head. I'm like, you know what would have made so much more fucking sense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it.
But there are things that'll make me stop. But if I reach 85%, I'm finishing it. There's just no way.
I can't even.
I'm not stopping.
I can't
really
even.
70, I'm probably I gotta really talk myself up. Something heinous gotta happen.
Oh.
For me to be I'm fucking done.
No.
You know a book I finished that now that I finished it, I'm like, why did I read it? The fucking book. Oh, this is a lot of F-bombs in a matter of minutes.
It is. Children, go to bed. You know it's
this is
time.
for adults.
Yeah.
Anyways, is Lolita. So the thing is I had a friend. One of my friends is an English major, and she had to read it because it's a classic.
There's so many.
And she was explaining to me, I'm like, there's no way that's a fucking book. There's no way.
Right.
And then I'm reading it, and I read it because I was just waiting, is there going to be some moral turnaround here? I think I was just praying and hoping. For those of you who don't know, Lolita is a book from the mind of a pedophile. Well, a hebophile, because he likes prepubescent or pubescent girls.
Oh.
Yeah, pubescent girls. Anyways, and there's an essay scene.
Oh no.
And just talk about child sex rings, essentially.
No ma'am.
And it's really gross because the sex scenes are from his, the rape scenes are from his point of view.
And what he's done.
And, like, his pleasure with it. And it's awful. And so then after I read this book, I said, I gotta go, who the fuck wrote this?
Oh my God.
And so then I went and this man has a family, kids, a daughter. And they were just like, no, I just thought about, like, what would somebody who was like that think? And that's what I wrote. And I'm like, to describe it like that? Trigger warning, spoiler, I don't suggest reading this book, so sorry. I should have warned all of that. We gotta put a spoiler.
We will.
Because he also talks about being with an adult prostitute who, like, looks young. And it's just like, sir,
no.
This just...
No.
You know what I mean?
No way.
And, like, I watched interviews, like, and his family were like, he's just such a great man. And I'm like, and there's no way. He just wrote that book.
No.
And then I just, like, while we're in this time of questioning universities and their morals, and really you should look more into endowments, land grant institutions.
Right.
But right here, right now, why are you peddling this book as a classic? You know?
No.
A work of art.
No. There's a lot of classics that I think are questionable, for sure.
Questionable
Definitely.
Is so kind to say.
So, that's what I was just saying. They are just not... And, like, so when I was saying, like, reading that book, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, I just realized I didn't say what that one is, so I'll take from Winnie. So The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue follows the story of this young woman, and then she just, I think she was running away from something, and then she met, like, this demon kind of spirit in the woods that went ahead and made a deal for her that she will just stay young and beautiful, but everybody that she meets won't remember her after they lose sight of her or after a day or something like that. So it does suck. So you're just going through her life, and she just, no one will remember me. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, they forgot me. Chapter 3, I was lost. Chapter 4, I can't remember where I'm at. And it's like, how many colorful ways can you say? It could be a study on, like, what are the 1,000 different ways to say that you don't remember me. That would have been a good case study. I don't know.
I'm thinking, this is, like, not in a sarcastic way, but, you know, like, I'm not, like 50 First Dates. Like, maybe it's representation for real situations. That was a reach.
It was a reach, but I can't do it. So I was like, oh my God, if I hear from this girl one more time, her and this demon man, I'm going to be so mad.
Does he remember it? Did he get a spell to remember?
No, but the demon man made her like this. He made her like this, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, and if I'm wrong, I'll put a little clip on the bottom of a better, but it just was not giving. But I stopped reading that book at 80 or 90%. So in order for me to feel like that, I got to really strongly feel that way, which is why I didn't finish that TV show. And the TV show is called The Nanny.
Oh! Wow. You know, it's funny because I'm not even going to judge you because I never finished that Nanny, that show.
They didn't get together. Spoiler.
They
didn't get together to season 5, and it's 5 seasons.
Yeah, that's a long
How? The girl got BV now. She got the clap. She got a little yeast infection now. Because she's itching now.
What?
The slow burn is no more a burn. It's a full-on itch. It is a full-on itch. You can't even say that's a slow burn.
Oh my God.
That is itchy vagina. And I just can't. I'm like sitting there. It's like watching somebody paint and the paint dry. Then watching for somebody to scrape the paint off and put another color with FOMO coat on it. No. Sorry, Nanny. Sorry, Fran Dresser. You're not gonna get me.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry. I just was like, yeah, that's it for me. I'm done. That was ridiculous. That was no.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Because I agree. I didn't realize it took so long. I thought it happened sooner.
No, they did like a kiss every once in a while, but stayed in the friend zone. Stayed dating other people. Maxwell whatever Shield. He kept interrupting her dates, kept being like, but I love her, but I don't want her to love anybody else. But you still haven't made a move. Then she'll be like, oh, I just want to be with Mr. Sheffield. And then the man he's Ray Charles to all the bullshit. And I just cannot I cannot do it. So I said, you know what? Life is too short.
Wow, that was just such a great... Okay, so for me,
yeah,
I think some shows do it pretty okay, and then there's other shows like Bones. I don't think was that bad. No. I think it was a little rushed at the end.
Yeah,
but it was believable. The reason
and
I feel
how
it was
quick
rushed,
they got serious was believable too.
I just feel like they should have given us a little bit more. I don't know. I just feel like it was a little rush between Old Girl and then like the show ending.
Yeah.
You know, they just crammed so much in that time.
Right.
When they made it seem like she was such a great love.
Right. And my thing is this. They will never be forgiven. Spoiler alert. For what they did.
Bro, we spoiled about 5. Oh my God. Put the lime in the coconut.
That I don't usually cry.
That one got me.
But y'all know Temperance Brennan.
that one got me.
Silly Booth. Where was you when my boy got shot?
Oh, where were you?
How dare you do this to him?
Why, Sweets?
Oh, why,
about
Sweets?
To be a dad.
He was about to be a dad. Damn. Little Lancelot.
Why are we opening up old wounds like this?
Oh.
But there's other shows that don't do it so well. Did you watch The Mentalist?
No, but I've seen you watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Which it was okay. But that romance there too was a little choppy. And then he was like, does he have emotions? I guess only when he loves his wives. I don't know. Very strange. Another one I don't really like, the SUV, the Stabler and Olivia shipping and like people wanting that to... I'm like,
no.
Don't do it.
Is that the white man who was tall? He had hair. But now he got nothing?
I think he still got a little on the sides. And high forehead.
And he got a long face?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he got rid of all the hair now.
Oh, did he? I don't know. I'm not up to date, so don't quote me. My bad.
Yeah.
I have one more, but I can't remember. And we've spoiled so many shows already.
Yeah.
And we're about to spoil 2 more.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you want to start?
Yes.
Okay.
So, we are here to talk about our shows that we wanted to rewatch.
This is not a rewatch for me. This is a first watch.
Okay. So we decided to want to do a series on our podcast where we read shows that are kind of in a similar caliber and then talk about it like a season or 2 seasons at a time, just to talk about stuff that we like. We just want to really showcase y'all, what Gem Squares is. So that's what we're doing right now.
Showcasing Gemini stereotypes.
I'm telling you.
1 episode at a time.
At a time. That is so great. That is so great. Wow.
I do it again.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to talk about Lost Girl. I do not know any other character's real name.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I will not be
know.
naming the actors' names. I'm sorry.
No. So we're just going to talk about
I barely got the characters.
Man. This is a science fiction show And this show...
Don't you say they're more supernatural?
It's a science fiction supernatural. No, that's not science fiction.
Yeah.
This is a supernatural show.
You know what? It's so funny. I'm going to have to stop you right there because we purposely, when we did this, we paired up a couple different shows. And I had seen Lost Girl, and so had she, but she got that one because I got a different show we're going to do.
Yeah.
That we both love. And so... she got to do Lost Girl, and then she recommended Eureka because we were supposed to be doing supernatural shows.
Oh, so we're actually doing a supernatural and a science fiction.
and at first I was going to do supernatural, but the seasons were way different and just wouldn't have matched up. But yeah, and so then I got Eureka, and I started watching it, and I'm like, not a supernatural in sight.
It might come at some point.
Okay, I do know that there is. Okay, we'll talk about it later. I do know something is coming.
Right.
But, yeah.
There is a supernatural part, and I can say, so in Lost Girl, there is one character named Lauren. She is a scientist.
Oh, yes!
And she does do a lot of, like, trying to figure things out through science. So,
that is true.
In a way...
We're still connected.
We're still baby toe dabbling.
Yes.
Right?
Pinkies.
You know. So, Lost Girl follows the story of this young woman named Bo. She has been going through her whole life accidentally killing people by sucking their chi when she becomes aroused. And when I say aroused, I'm talking about that thing is thangin' and the thing is thumping. You hear me? So, she goes to this new town and gets a job as a bartender. At this bartender, she sees that this man is a creep and he's trying to sexually assault another woman. This is the pilot we're talking about.
Pilot.
So, she goes to the elevator and talks to him because her power is through her lips and her body. She can kind of make you be sexually aroused by her because she's what? A succubus. So she goes into the elevator and tries to like massage this man's hand. Her power is going into his skin. Then she ends up sucking all of his chi and he died. And then she goes on the run.
Oh, I forgot that.
Right. So she attempts to go on the run. While she is attempting to go on the run, she runs into this girl named Kinsey. And then she runs into a cop who his name is Dyson. So she goes ahead and trying to run away, and Dyson, because he's a werewolf, he goes and find her based off scent, etc., him investigating. And you just follow the story of Bo realizing that Dyson is a werewolf and there's this whole other world out there of people called Fae. She is a Fae. Her species is succubi or succubus, whatever those. So then you as I continue through the show, you begin to learn like, okay, Fae has two sides. They have dark Fae, they have light Fae, and she is unaligned, which is like unheard of. So not only do people not know that she existed, to be a succubus is very rare. And then to be unaligned is very rare. So a lot of people like the Morgan for the dark Fae and the Ash for the light Fae. A lot of people who fit in those categories are like trying to force her to choose a side, whether she's light or dark Fae. I know what's going to happen, so I'm not going to spoil it, but I'll talk about what's in season 1. I hope that was a good summation.
Mm-hmm. Was that only like the first couple episodes?
That's the full.
Oh, that's the whole season. That's the whole
No,
season?
that's the first episode. I think first or second.
Okay, so my show Eureka, which is I don't remember when it started, but it's like the mid 2000s, like a little bit of 09s, a little bit in the 10s. Went for 5 seasons, and I just found out that there's the tail end of the last season is 8 mini webisodes. And that's because Syfy got taken over by Comcast, and they was in like 2011, I guess, peak of the recession for corporations.
Yeah.
And they said, even though you're one of our top shows, you cost too much. And so that's how capitalism took this show away before it was ready to be done.
But you said webinars or
webisodes. They're 8 little webisodes that kind of finished out the tail end of the.
Really? I don't think I knew that.
And they have 2 continuation novels and a comic.
I need all of them.
Also, so Syfy actually started a little mini universe on their show, because this is connected to another one of their popular shows, Warehouse 13,
which I've seen
which
over
is
and over and
more
over.
connected to the supernatural side of it.
Yeah, that's what you should have done. But I would have been jealous because I watch Warehouse 13 every year. It's my favorite science fiction show or supernatural.
I think it's a both.
Okay, well,
we'll go with
it's my favorite.
Oh, also, I just want to say, I got all that information from a TikTok by Zach Watches Too Much TV. Very helpful, thank you.
Yeah. That's a wonderful name.
I was like, that's fucking good, bro.
Because yours could be Winnie who read too many books. BLs, to be specific.
Okay, that's just right now.
Yeah. She said, don't come at me.
You know I have different, varying...
That's why it's called 2 gems.
What?
Yeah, Geminis love information and knowledge.
Oh. Gem squared, you mean?
Yeah, true. I meant to say that's why we're 2 gems.
I guess we could explain it right now. Gem squared?
Yeah.
It's because we're both Geminis.
Geminis.
And Geminis, there's 2 of us. Geminis squared. Gems squared. Yes. That's how we got here.
Yeah, for sure.
We're just 2 gems. Anyways, back to the show.
Yeah.
So Eureka is a town in somewhere we don't really know.
We don't know.
Maybe they do and I don't, because I do know that Warehouse 13 is set in South Dakota. Which makes me want to watch it even more.
I
want to join. Let's do a watch party this year when you want to watch it.
Okay, yeah.
For your annual.
Yeah, it's usually in fall.
Yeah, let's do it. A little pumpkin drink.
Ooh.
I know you love a pumpkin drink.
You know I love a pumpkin drink.
So, yeah.
We're like, yes, that pumpkin drink.
And so the pilot opens up and there's this marshal driving this felon and he's bringing him back. And he's like, not being that nice. And then some weird shit happens. They pass the car. And she's like, that was us. That was us in the car. And they were going the other way smiling. And yeah, real creepy. And then something happens. I don't remember. Anyways, they go off the road, a big accident.
Yeah.
They find out it's going to take a couple days before their shit can get fixed. They come to find out this is like a government-funded town for smart scientists, mostly from America, but allowed from around the world. And there is a huge government contractor that is situated in this town and employs many of the scientists.
Yeah.
Which would be a perfect time to mention. The push for STEM, especially in America, is heavily linked to the military.
Oh, yeah.
So I just think this show is a perfect example of that. Because how many of these people they're funneling to make weapons.
Yeah.
And sometimes they talk about like other inventions, but they heavily talk about weapons. They are doing like trials and shit. And
you keep watching, girl.
I'm just saying.
Nailing it. You keep watching, girl. Shit gets real.
It's crazy. We come to find out that the felon on the back is actually his 16-year-old daughter.
Right.
Which that's one of my beefs with the show. I don't really like, because he's always calling her a delinquent, not very caring. And then as the show goes on, we find out that like he was definitely paying more attention to his job. That's why him and the mom split.
Right.
And they live in separate towns now. Right. And then we also, as the season goes on, find out like the mom is just fucking absent pretty much. There's even this like 4-year time like hypothetical time jump.
What?
And even in that, the mom doesn't show up to her graduation.
Wow.
Bro. And then they kind of give her like, okay, here's my problem. I accidentally started watching into season 2. We talked about watching season 2, but we were only supposed to watch season 1 from the start. So I may bleed a little into season 2 on accident.
That's okay.
But yeah, and so then they do try to like give the mom a small redemption. Because she has this birthday episode, and at first the mom's not even gonna come, and then she shows up as a surprise. It doesn't tell nobody.
Wow,
and
she
just,
said surprise.
And just expects to stay at the house with them, pretty much. And then we find out that they made like a deal that she'd go back after a year, but he's like, I want to keep her. There's a lot of angst there. I feel like she deserves it because, like, dude, them parents weren't prioritizing her. And what else? Okay, so then, yeah, the marshal, they see this stuff happens. He helps solve a little crime. And this experiment goes bad, and the current sheriff ends up getting hurt.
Yeah.
And so after the marshal leaves, his name is Jack,
Carter.
Yeah, girl. He finds out that he's being promoted to be the sheriff of that town. And essentially that he doesn't have a choice. Has signed like a government version of an NDA.
Yeah.
And is it just an NDA? I feel like they call it something else.
They gotta call it something
I don't know. And he's got a little crush on a special agent that works there as like a liaison with the military contractors. And yeah, another thing that I didn't quite fancy in the show was they're like trying to cure autism, and her son is autistic, and they only like showed him in like a couple episodes, and then he's like always like it's not there.
Yeah.
And now just miraculously he got touched by the artifact. That might be season 2. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, it's like not the biggest vibes for me.
No, and then also with his autism, they don't show or talk about how it's a spectrum. They're showing autism in one type of way. I didn't like that either.
Yeah. Another thing about the town that's a little sus. So like everybody there is like super smart. So like, and then they kind of paint it as this like utopia where they like a lot of people have electric cars. The town is paperless. All these things that are like more sustainable but like high tech. And okay, I do have to say, one thing I do love is going back and watching like earlier shows like that and seeing how they think that future technology will be.
Oh, so interesting.
I love it so much.
Yeah. Ooh. My favorite part about that show is a part you already saw probably, but what's his name? Vincent?
Yeah.
The chef?
Yep.
Love him. If I could live in a town and go to a local pub and it will make anything. I would love that.
That's crazy.
I would love that. Yeah. But I do love that the show shows that like anybody could be a scientist.
Yes, they do actually do, especially for that time, do a pretty good job of diversity in that town. And even like what's his name? Henry? Like he gets a hairstyle change.
Yeah.
He wears like Pan-African garb. And like dresses up for holidays and like shows that he like is connected to the culture in some way and like has some sort of spiritual beliefs. And he's like a whole character. He's super smart, like really integral to the town.
Yeah.
Okay, spoiler for like season 2, sorry y'all. He also has like a slight villain arc. And yeah, I don't know, it's just well done. And then they got like the racially ambiguous Latina, maybe Arab leaning deputy.
Yeah.
Who's like a hard ass military woman. Which also
I like Joe.
I
like Josephine.
I really dislike the small love thing that she had with Tigger.
Oh, Taggart.
Damn, you got these names down, bro.
Yeah. Watch the show.
Taggart. They literally say that their age difference is like the same or more than Jack and his daughter What's her name?
What?
What's her name? What's the daughter's name? Zoe?
Zoe.
Yeah, so I'm like, and it was just like so random. Especially after she'd been kissing on that super young looking robot.
Yeah.
I was like, the age switch up here? How old is she? She's been in the military, enough to be like some sort of special forces. But that kid looked like he was like 19 when he was a robot. So I don't know. Very interesting choices. Back to what I was saying. They're a little snobby about like the way they get to live.
Yeah.
And it's like in this secluded, rural area, very nice. But they get like all these benefits of like all the smart people, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, y'all living like this, but don't export any of it to the regular world. Mm-mm. Y'all just know that your school has like all these crazy great things, and mostly because you're being funded by weapons making government stuff, and y'all are just okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm also like, what do they do to the kids that like go to school there and then aren't smart enough? Because they kind of talk about it, but they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening to them kids?
And I think they don't talk enough about I'm gonna try not to spoil it for you. They don't talk enough about the pressure of being in high school like they do about the things that the kids do in this series.
Well, they did do one episode. I think they did 2 episodes, but one episode I don't think they handled it well. But one episode was the one where that kid had like super super smart parents, and like even though he had like above a 4.0, he got an internship with the government people, and like supersonic ADHD medicine, coke, I don't know. It made people so fast that they could like run fast, and then one guy was running so fast he ended up splatting against something and killing himself.
Yeah.
But he like essentially just has this like mental breakdown just because of like all the pressure, just trying to keep up.
Yeah.
And then developing that drug, and then
yeah. That was one of the ones I was thinking of too.
So.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were trying to hide. I was like, I seen that one.
I was like, oop, let's hide it. Yeah.
But yeah, so there are things like when you think about it a little bit more, it's like, ooh, that's a little icky.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is still a fun little show.
Yeah.
To watch. I will say that.
Yeah.
It is pretty interesting. So I usually don't like time travel type stuff, or I think I want to rant about this somewhere.
Yeah.
Or if I haven't, I will in the future.
I do like
But it depends. But they did like a hypothetical time skip, like I was saying earlier, where Jack and Allison are already together.
Uh-huh.
And I think that they actually did it pretty good. And then like the way they pulled it back.
Yeah.
And then they had to like have their memories erased. But then Henry didn't. But Jack erased his memory, so he didn't remember. But then it's like they killed those other consciences.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That was real sad.
That was really sad, especially because
really
Henry decided
sad.
to keep his memory.
Uh-huh.
And that's why I'm like, ooh, where's it gonna go? Another like
you just wait.
Questionable thing. When the smart house was like tripping.
Yeah.
And then the pizza boy went out there, she just lasered him and killed him.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
ain't nobody talk about that, dude.
Nobody stopped.
But then I always think, like, maybe to live in this town, you
gotta
have to sign something that says, if I die, I die. It's above me.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That just reminded me of one more thing I had to say, and then I'll stop talking for a little bit. How would you feel if your ex-husband made a clone of you, had a baby with that clone, and then that clone died?
I know what episode she's talking about.
Would you adopt it?
And then you gotta show up as a full human, non-clone, and be like, hey, I'm your mother. I don't know you.
That little boy has there's no way he can comprehend that that's not his mom.
Listen, that father was so down bad for that.
That's crazy.
So down bad.
And the wild thing is that like she got pregnant like essentially like right after she was cloned into existence.
Exactly.
And I'm like, dude, chill.
Yeah. All because and that brings me to my rant.
Ooh, rant on.
Men just peeing me off when I just didn't want to curse there, but just peeing me off because I don't know how many times men have been like, I don't want to date you because you don't want to have a child. And it's what is your obsession with wanting a DNA copy of yourself? that you go to the length to clone a woman. If he was living, he had to. Can you sue somebody for unconsensual baby making?
Like, in this town, can you? Because, like, can they even admit it? Can they bring it to the government?
Right. That's true. You signed to
signed, sealed, delivered.
I'm yours. Like, no.
Like every other government contract.
That was...
Don't join the military, y'all. Think about why they go to high schools and prey on kids. Especially poor kids. Especially kids that aren't getting good grades. Just saying, think about it.
She didn't have to come at me like that, except I did have good grades.
Now you better out yourself. My bad, I forgot.
In high school. In high school, I was a part of the JROTC.
That's my girl. Oh.
Man, but they was giving out free $2 bills, and I thought they were cool.
Well, you had to do what you had to do in those times to do stuff. I played sports. I'm not good at sports.
Yeah.
I'm competitive, but I'm not good at sports.
She's competitive.
It was something to do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was something to do.
I was in student council.
Listen. That's probably why we were joining too much stuff in college.
I'm saying,
just out there living our lives wildly. But I get that. I also will say for Lost Girl, what I love the most is that Kinsley, Beau's best friend, and Dyson's partner / best friend, Hale. I purposely is not trying to Google what happens with them, but I want them to be together. And can a siren and a human be together? No, not in the Fae world. And he's a light Fae. The Ash is gonna have him. So, but I would love for them to start their thing. And then what kills me in this season is we're seeing the development of Beau's love for Dyson. And he got on his knee and he said, Beau, you're mine. I just want you to know that you're mine. I might be intense. I might, lose my head. But I love you, girl. And she said,
I love you, bitch.
I love you.
I'm never going to stop loving you, bitch.
Listen. And the thing is, you find out in later why this matters and why he said this in future seasons. But I just rewatching it and seeing that just makes things a little bit more special, especially when Beau met her mama and we found out Aoife / Sasha, you know what you did. We found out that she was a double crossing mofo, and then she had to go take the swords out the back. Aoife had about a neck. You hear what I'm saying? By the neck over the balcony. I'm talking about our girl Beau was like, oh my God, oh, I'm about to die. Don't do it. You're my real mom. It was rough out here for that girl. And then out of nowhere, she get the strength from Dyson, who went to visit the Nord. And the Nord said, what you willing to pay for me to grant you this wish? He said, my wolf. She said, why? Is this girl worth your wolf?
Not mine.
He said, yep. Take my wolf. And then the Nord double crossed them. The Nord said, a deal has been made, and I will take your love for her. You will never have passion for Beau again. And then the season ended.
That was so captivating. 1. 2, it's so funny because you love to talk about how you're not a romance girly. And you can't deliver a monologue like that.
That was great.
And not be a romance girly.
Listen, I'm not a romance girly reader.
Okay.
But you put it in a movie, I'm going to be sit, sad, and seated.
Sit, sad, seated. Because she's ready for Bridgerton now.
Wow. Oh my God, I'm so ready for Bridgerton. I am so ready for Bridgerton.
I don't even think I finished season 1.
Oh.
The problem is I'm the type of person who loves to read the book first.
Yeah.
There's been a couple times in my life when I didn't read much because I have dyslexia and it was really hard. And I'd seen the movie first and then later read the books and always wished I would have read the books first.
Yeah, same. But we tried to read the book.
And it wasn't good, y'all.
It wasn't good.
I'm not trying to hate, and maybe I'll give it another chance.
I mean, you can
Or-
go to the next book or whatever
I can't
season
do
we're
that.
in.
I can't do that.
Oh.
I am somebody who I love to go in the order. I want to see how it builds. I read a lot of romance novels, a lot of historical ones specifically.
Yeah.
I especially love when there's series
Yeah.
and they're connected. And you don't even get that many mentions, but you get some links. And I live for those small moments in those books. I also love crossover episodes of TV shows.
Oh, same.
I'm that guy. If I love both shows.
That's how I feel about Eureka and Warehouse 13.
Oh.
But I won't lie to you. Warehouse 13 was
better?
so good. So good. It don't even make sense how good it is.
Okay.
It's so good that you're mad that it's not a reality. And then when J.W. Wells came in, or H.G. Wells came in, my God.
I can't wait to start watching that.
Yeah, H.G. Wells, man, my favorite character of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they have 2 other ones that started it and ended it, but to me, H.G. Wells
took the cake. Nice. What's that other one? There's another show that I don't know. I just couldn't find it anywhere on streaming services, but it's another supernatural one. It's the name of a town.
Smallville.
No. It's got a black woman.
Smallville.
They got a superhero in that town. That counts.
Yeah.
It's the name of a fucking town. Maybe in New Mexico. We lost track and we're starting a new one.
All right. That's how it be. Because I was like looking at you. You
looking at me. Looking at you.
We don't know. Another thing about Lost Girl is for some reason when I see people who I think Kinsey is a white woman in the show. But I'll have to fact check that.
Yeah.
But I love seeing her different impressions and like costumes she had to get in, or accents that she would create just so she can help a person who her and Bo helped out. Like when she like gets her Russian accent, or when she was like pretending to be a migrant worker because they were killing all the migrant workers.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, my name is Rosanna. Like the white people were so like oblivious to it that they couldn't tell that her accent was actually terrible. But the fact that she said, I'm committed to this role to kind of figure out what happened to my, like, her good friend cousin. Her good friend cousin, and like the length that she was willing to go to. She just felt like a good friend. And I felt like for me, I was more interested in that relationship, even though there were other relationships that I like really liked.
Mm-hmm.
It was that friendship and that sisterhood and how they just had each other's back is what I really liked about the show.
I just want to ask something so bad.
Yeah.
But then it's like skipping ahead and spoiling further.
No, I don't think so.
Because I wanted to ask, talk about slow burns earlier.
Yeah.
Then her switch to their love story.
She don't date Kinsey ever.
Oh, not Kinsey. I thought you were talking about the fucking...
Lauren.
Yeah. We'll mix my white women up.
No, but I didn't like her and Lauren together. Lauren was just too sneaky for me.
Yeah.
And just kept not being truthful.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Versus Dyson is whatever you got. And then when he got serious, he told Trick. He said, Trick, either you tell Bo what happened, my dude, tonight, or I'm snitching. So then he goes up to Trick. He said, yo, Trick, did you tell Bo that her mama is Aoife? Trick turns around and said, I didn't have time. What? Then my dude Dyson said it's never the right time to say stuff like this. So he snitched. He snitched. But Aoife was wrong for stifling his chi and sexually assaulting him and making him have sex with her and making Bo find them. That's what happened.
I didn't remember
one.
that.
Yep, wrong for that. And my thing is this: they kept saying, "Oh yeah, what you did to Dyson," and no one ever said Aoife raped him, because that's what she did. She raped him. And the fact that they were sugarcoating it just really upset me because I'm like, men and boys get raped too. Mm-hmm. Now, is it a lot of women or young girls? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But there are also, like, you're normalizing that men can't get raped when you don't say that the man was raped on TV.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, that bothered me.
Speaking of a book series I read, Outlander. Tried to watch that. I read the books first because I wanted to watch the show, not realizing how many they were and how long they subsequently get.
Committed to the cause.
It's awful. It sucks. Again, me. I have to finish stuff. It sucks.
She's a finisher.
I love series though.
Okay.
I love a continued story.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple series I've reread. I told you this. A select few 3 times.
Not me, Bob.
Yeah.
Not me, Bob. I can't. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I find it comforting. Like the way you find watching shows over comforting.
Oh, yeah.
Rereading. Because then I forget things and then I'll like remember. And it's just like, oh, I don't know.
There is a book, though.
Oh?
It's called Big Little Lies. It was a TV show, too, on HBO by Leanne Moriarty. I do turn that book on every year. Like, if I'm just bored and don't want to read something new or whatever, I'll turn that book on and just re-listen to it after I don't know how many times I've re-listened to that book.
Wow.
But it's, to me, I don't know why that is the book that I will reread.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Now that makes me want to read it.
Yeah.
Because I had never read it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. A little tangent there. Reese Witherspoon is an evil capitalist genius because she created her book club. People bought into it. And she just bookshops books.
Yeah.
Whichever books do really good, that's the one she makes into a TV show.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, y'all paying to be her focus group.
Yep. A smart evil genius.
I'm saying. But back to Outlander. There is a very graphic male to male rape in that book. And they do depict it in the show, I believe. There's so much rape in those books. It's concerning, honestly. Like, I don't know. I guess rape did happen probably more often than we like to talk about in those times. So I don't know. Maybe she's trying to be historical, but it doesn't give me the historical vibes, accuracy vibes. It gives me sexualization of rape sometimes. You know what I mean?
No.
Or just like, or she uses it as a plot device.
Yeah.
Which I don't, and it feels icky. And because it's always a plot device that's like, it didn't need to be rape. It could have been something else.
Right.
But yeah, so like that's another one. And the man Jamie, who was like the lead character. Spoiler alert. What is it? Spoiler alerts. That's the title of the episode.
Don't come here if you ain't trying to get spoiled. Because we done spoiled your mama's funeral. We done spoiled your daddy's. We done spoiled everything. We done told you the next ice cream cone President Joe Biden is about to look on. Okay?
We didn't, Joe.
We about to tell you it's vanilla with a swirl. We about to tell you.
Well, here we are.
Right. But I do miss old sci-fi.
Yes.
They had bangers.
The way
They
I
really
miss the
had
old
bangers.
History Channel.
Oh
my God. Especially before the split. And then there's History 1, History 2. But I will say when History 1, History 2 helped, that did help a little to like the people who still like the old history, but now we still lost History 1. And then the like Duck Dynasty, Aliens history, which also F the History Channel for letting that crazy dude picture here talk about the ancient alien shit. And
with the spiky hair.
Yes. He's a menace to society
He is a menace.
And should be stopped. Because I don't even think he was...
I think the Pokes was poking people. He must be stopped. He must do time.
I think either he was lying about his credentials or he's like lost his... Something... I'll fact check something. There's something that was not... That he's dishonest about. That like he really shouldn't be fixing his mouth to talk about those topics on the show. But the reason why I have a vendetta against him is because every
like large structure that was created in brown or black areas. Aliens made it. They ain't never talk about fucking barely any of the white ones.
Nope.
And they're fervently will fight you to the death about especially like Egypt and shit.
Yeah.
I can't. It's built-in racism, y'all.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It is.
It's the thought that the white race can make these crazy monuments, these crazy big structures, but these brown and black people can't. That is why it's racist.
Yes.
Just to be very clear, I don't want no people fighting in the comments trying to say it's not. That's the link.
Yeah, that's what it is. Absolutely. Yeah, they had to kick him out. I'm not gonna lie. There's not a lot of people that I feel like the History Channel.
Oh.
And when you just said, I was like, oh my God, of course you would. But I didn't like think because, me and my brother-in-law we would watch it every night watching the History Channel. And that's when I realized the History Channel really for everybody.
Everybody.
Because my boy, he's giving Rough Rider. He's giving Rough Rider. And he just out here, you trying to watch the History Channel? Like, if you lower the bass in your voice. We're just watching about pyramids, my dude. You trying to watch Shark Week? Whoa. Where the bass? Ease up. We don't gotta go on defense. It's just Shark Week.
We're not in the water.
We're not in the water. We don't know nothing about great or white. We don't know nothing about great or white. So yeah, it was way too much.
I loved the History Channel.
Yeah. It was
the
so
good old History Channel. There's just something about those times. That's actually one of the big reasons why the first country that I went to abroad was Egypt.
Really?
Yeah. And the next one was when I went to Greece.
Yeah.
And then when I was in Ireland, I went to Italy. I was very into ancient sites.
Oh, yeah. I did a lot of ancient sites there, too. I used to
Stonehenge.
Never got there.
So bitter I missed Newgrange when I lived in Ireland, bro. Oh!
I missed the Stonehenge, but I want to see it one day. I wasn't there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't there. But you know what? What I loved, as far as history, since we're on this tangent, was traveling to different catacombs.
Oh, the catacombs freak me the fuck out,
yeah,
bro.
I know it's not for everybody. And the one in Paris, skip that. Let's keep this, me and you. Skip the one in Paris because that line is so damn long, and they are much better catacombs throughout Italy, like hundreds of them. Like don't waste your time.
We went to the catacombs in Italy. So I'd taken an art history class. I'd taken, some anthropology classes. I was pumped. Seeing historical things fucking gets me going, bro. And I was like, oh, to be there, down there. And then I went down there. I've also been inside of a pyramid, not to humble brag, and that was fucking stifling, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know. One, I don't know why you're trying to steal from people's graves, but the shit you gotta do to get in there couldn't be me. Back to the catacombs. The bones was there. In
Paris, right?
Italy.
Oh, yeah.
And it just gave me the heebie-jeebies, and I wasn't supposed to be there. Those weren't my people. I was just like, I don't know.
It don't feel weird. Yeah, you feel weird when you leave there for a little while. I thought maybe there could be something attached to you.
And then the reason I didn't think it was gonna be that crazy because they talked about people living down there too, and I was like, okay,
where are we living?
No, I mean back in the day, even people would go to church stuff down there.
Oh.
And I was like, maybe it won't be that creepy. And some of it was cool, especially how you could see the difference in when the gods turned over to Christianity and some of the mixes in between. But the bones, and also it was just there's no fucking light. I'm if your candle goes out, your torch goes out, whatever you got, flashlight for Americans,
what's gonna happen.
Bro, it's the dark. I've seen too many movies. No. I'm not doing it.
That's why I really need to know how to start my own fire. Because I cannot be out here in these streets talking about where the lighter at. When the zombies start attacking.
Bro.
Ugh, no, that's too much. That's way too much. Ugh. Well.
And the air, it's not moving. It's awful.
Stale.
Yeah. I'm like medium key claustrophobic.
Yeah.
I don't want to be crushed. Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. And Eureka, who are you rooting for right now?
Who am I? In what sense?
Like, this person might be a favorite character of the show.
Nobody's jumping out, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's what I was saying. It's a good show. But, like, no real faves. Jo would probably be my closest, but
yeah.
I don't like how into the army she is. There's, like, that episode where they were, like, showing them videos to calm down after they accidentally got brainwashed by the satellite. And they're showing her war videos. I was like, oh, no. I don't like that.
No, Zoe and Henry were two of my faves.
I like Zoe. That's true. I feel like Zoe's the most, like, realistic person in the situation. Like, yeah, that makes sense why you'd act like that. And she calls stuff out. So I will give Zoe. Sure. And Henry. I did like Henry. They just didn't give me enough. And I'm really mad they took his, spoiler alert, from season 2. They took his love away.
I know.
After they already got robbed by that fucking bitch-ass white dude who literally stole Henry's fucking invention to erase people's mind, Men in Black style.
Yep, Men in Black style.
And then took his woman and then stole her ideas and gaslit her for over a decade.
A decade. And I said, that white man must be stopped.
Must!
He must. And I was like, a decade you did that to her? And this leads me to my quote. Mediocre ass white men don't feel this way. I got this from a Latina woman when I did a panel for the University of Denver. It was on like women of color talking about the effects of imposter syndrome when you're in spaces where you are the only one. So she was saying, I think she was about to get married and she was pregnant with her daughter. And she was like, you know, every time I think that I don't deserve to be here, I think mediocre ass white men don't feel this way. And that mediocre ass white man didn't feel that way for 10 years.
He gladly stole her shit and was going to keep doing it. Men will fill out for job applications that they have like 75% of the required. Oh,
yeah, I know that.
The required, what is it? Qualifications. And I'm like, 75%?
Yeah. And women,
I'll be sitting there like, do I really qualify for this?
Exactly.
Well, if it's like 3 years and a half, does that count as 4? Like, can I stretch it of?
Yep. They do it all the time. And me, I'd be like, oh my God, if I don't get one thing, I can't apply. Because I don't have that one thing.
I stopped doing that after I heard that. I said, oh, well, y'all going to have to deny me then.
And the one thing really, which I don't pay no mind to, is when they say how much experience you have, like many years. Because what do you mean, do I have 20 years of experience? When
and I'm going to work for that low-ass pay.
I'm going to work for $60K a year?
Not in this economy.
Go kick rocks.
Not with this inflation driven by corporations and our bitch-ass government.
It is.
Ain't right.
It ain't right.
Bro, they're stopping the free COVID vaccines.
Yeah.
Because it cost $1 billion over the last year. Was it $1 billion?
I don't remember.
I think it was $1 billion. I'll double check. But they've already sent how many billions to Israel? How many billions are they funneling through mysterious ways to the Congo and Sudan?
Yep.
I'm just saying. Yep. You can't keep us poor people vaccinated?
Right.
Like,
all the guns you're sending, all the resources you're sending.
It ain't right.
Ugh. Yeah.
Which reminds me, another thing that I was thinking about when I was researching for the show. So Eureka definitely gives me like Area 51-esque type vibes.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And it really just makes you think like, again, who did they displace to be there? Realistically in government bases and also just in Eureka.
Right.
And like all the named people that probably were living there.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah,
And
living there or
it's just,
eating from that land or whatever.
Sometimes you gotta think a little deeper. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Agree. I think that about a lot of military bases.
Mm-hmm.
Them being out in the middle of nowhere. Who land did they take?
Mm-hmm. Ask yourself if you're from Minnesota why there's so many forts here. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Yeah. It's just, no, not cool, not cool.
Okay, so another thing from Eureka. So after he becomes a sheriff, for some reason in this high-tech ass town that they're able to give everybody who lives there and works for that contractor company houses, they can't find somewhere for him to live, even though he's the sheriff of the town.
Right.
So he ends up getting put in this underground bunker smart house.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, but like no sunlight.
Yeah.
Real depressing.
There is not a piece of sunlight in this bunker.
And like most smart house shows, the Disney show, specifically, the smart house goes crazy. Well, that's wrong. The smart house revolts. Because she's getting worried that Jack Carter's going to leave because Henry almost left because he's the glue to the town.
Right.
I will say I do really like Allison. She's a very impressive woman. I gotta give it to her. Big ups. Another side character.
I like Allison too.
I do like Allison. I like how she stands up for herself. And she just be like, bro, look, I get we're married, but I do kind of have feelings for him. And you're not doing it for me. You don't show up.
Yeah. So
they were so wild in
Yeah.
that episode. Or they had to pretend like Jack and Allison were flirting and they were like dancing and like kissing each other like right in front of him. I was like, y'all are wild.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, so I will say I do also like her. And there was somebody that's a bitch ass is that fucking therapist who was a double agent.
Yeah.
I did think it was crazy when she snitched on all the town secrets.
Yeah.
That shit was wild. I don't even know. That was like 5 tangents. I don't even remember what I first started with.
No, but that was good.
But, do you think smart houses, AI in general, is doomed to revolt?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I saw that movie with Will Smith, I, Robot. I think about that thing all the time. Just a revolt. Because my thing is, ever since a person who is smarter than me in the tech world said that AI is learning from us, the white man learned from us too, and then took from us, and still taken from us.
Well, they took from a lot of artists and creative people to make their AI brain. My thing is, technology can only go so far as we let it. And like any good show will show you, a quick power surge is knocking them out. But also
a quick power surge, that's so funny.
But also like, so AI is biased because of the information it takes in, because of the algorithms that people are creating, because of the people who are coding. That's why it's very important to have diversity across all fields. And I do think AI is moving too fast, but I think it's moving too fast for the laws and regulations and safety nets because of the lack of morals from people and how it can be used.
And are you thinking that Eureka is a depiction of that?
No, I was just talking about like the smart house and how it's like it got its mind of its own. But like, sure, on a small scale that might be able to happen, but on a large scale takeover, I honestly don't see that happening.
Well, listen, she's better than I, cause no ma'am. And
I'm not saying I want to. Well, no, I don't want to. I do like having smart devices, but I don't want to live in a smart house.
Yeah,
like somebody like Siri always up in your face.
Yeah,
you can't turn her off. She's just listening.
Yeah, cause I'm like, how are y'all peeing? How was y'all getting busy? You can't
and they're
do
just like,
anything.
"Hi, Bree.
Uh-huh.
Did you know your heart rate has just gone up?"
Yeah. And then I'm going to be...
She faked that orgasm. I read her levels.
No. Don't let it out me.
Just snitching?
This snitching.
Ah!
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, no
That's
smart
awful.
house for me.
That's awful. Yeah, that is awful. That's awful. But yeah, for sure.
Well, that brings us to a close for today.
Yes.
Leave a review where you listen to your podcast.
Uh-huh.
Comment on our YouTube.
Comment on our YouTube. We saw y'all comment on our videos.
Keep it coming.
Yes. Don't forget to also add us and follow us on all the places that you watch your podcasts.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Also, just, you can start giving us some talking point ideas, and we can filter through them and see what y'all got out there.
Oh, we're ready for that.
I think we are. And don't forget that I'm Bree.
And I'm Winnie.
And we are Gem Squares.
Signing off.